So welcome everyone to my talk today, all about how to start innovating with iPad in an early years environment, really bringing creativity to life for our youngest of learners. My name is Lyndsey Stuttard. I'm a digital teaching and learning specialist for ACS International Schools at Cobham. I have been at ACS for 6 years and was previously working abroad in different international schools around the world. My background is in early years education. I've been teaching for 20 years. In addition to being an Apple Professional Learning Specialist, I am also an Apple Distinguished Educator. So before I share about our innovative approaches with iPad, I wanted to share a little background on our early years team. We began our journey with iPads in 2010, but we didn't really hit our stride until 2020 at the height of the pandemic. Now, our teachers needed upskilling as a result of the push to online learning, and there was an all-around desire to become more confident with technology. We introduced a team teaching approach alongside the Apple Teacher Program for support of professional development, and it wasn't long before our team was truly embracing all that iPad had to offer, really starting to move away from consumption and passive engagement with our learners and starting to do more active engagement and encouraging our students to be creating with iPad. We have developed our own unique digital learning pathway, as you can see up on the left, for our early years students as a foundation to build upon as our children move from the early childhood all the way into our primary school. This past year, we were fortunate to be recognized by Pearson Teaching Awards as a bronze winner for Early Years Team of the Year, specifically with our focus on digital learning, outdoor learning, and learning through play. So in today's talk, I aim to share with you several key tech integrated projects that align with our specific curriculum and interdisciplinary themes that we teach from our regular classroom in an inquiry-based environment. We will touch on augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and 3D printing and 3D design, which are much more innovative technologies you wouldn't normally see in an early years environment. And I hope that at the end you will walk away with some new ideas to try in your classrooms with your students and with your teachers as well. So first I want to discuss the role that creativity is currently playing at ACS. This has been a key focus for our school, not only in early years, but all the way through. We are a K through 12 school. And we view creative tools as a form of accessibility for our students, valuing the way each of them learns and expresses themselves, which iPad has helped us to be able to facilitate. As an Apple Distinguished School, we have become known for how we integrate creativity alongside our innovative technology use and also our purposeful use of augmented reality in the classroom. So this brings me to a key tool in our toolbox. It was developed a few years ago, shortly after the pandemic, called the Access to Learning Framework, or as we affectionately call it, ALF. This is a simple tool that illustrates what we believe is the right way for our school to approach teaching and learning by ensuring that there are access pathways for our students at all times. So here it is. If we think of the ways that we as a teacher share information to our students, we want to ensure that we are providing as many pathways as we can for our students to have more possibilities of engaging with the content that we share to them. We have gradually moved away from that traditional model of a white presentation, black text, teacher standing at the front and dictating to the class. And instead, we have leveraged more of the various creative tools in iPad to ensure that there are no invisible barriers in the way for our students to contend with. Now, as our students take in and process the information that we share to them, we want to be sure that they have access to lots of different creative pathways to be able to share their understanding back to us. And this also encompasses our early years students. Why do we continue to require every student to write an essay if we are not assessing the writing of an essay? Let's remove those barriers and give more creative options in the classroom. As we have been progressing with iPad in early years, we have been cognizant of screen time concerns and have developed a balanced approach, valuing screen and non-screen practices and choosing iPad when there is a purpose for it. Ensuring that our teachers and students are comfortable with the tools available, we have opted for a less is more approach. From an original collection of well over 600 apps about 6 years ago, we have streamlined our collection down to ensure that there is a strong core group of apps incorporated into an early years environment and streamlined all the way through the rest of the school. We allow our early years students to learn through play and through experimentation, so they become familiar with their app user experience before we develop really strong digital skills. As you can see in the collection of photos before you, iPad has provided countless opportunities for our students to learn not only inside the classroom, but outside as well. From photography on the playground, to video projects with photos from field trips, to coding and robotics, to digital drawing and 3D design and printing. Our approaches have stemmed from ensuring student engagement is a priority and developing skills that will progress with them as they grow, so that less time is spent teaching a tool and more time spent using it for deeper learning. Now, this brings me to our first topic of AR and AI. We have been long users of augmented reality since the pandemic and have only continued to progress with our ideas. And we excitingly brought artificial intelligence into the mix only last year. We have worked hard to ensure that both of these types of tech are serving a purpose for our students, helping to meet their needs and aligning with our curriculum approaches. You will see examples of these types of technologies in different projects I'm going to share. And the reason we continue with these approaches is based on our student feedback over the years. The use of AR has only grown since we launched in 2019, with students sharing that they remembered more from AR experiences than from any other type of technology we used. We felt that they had a stake in their learning when they were creating and being invited to create freely with AR, and then it was more engaging than any other tools they had previously used. And this is from our fourth graders who started with us during the pandemic and have gone all the way through. So, our first project, something we can affectionately call Imagination Monsters. This was a key one to not only engaging our students with understanding more about their imaginations, but also our teachers. It was the first truly innovative digital project that we had done and helped change many of our teachers' mindsets about technology from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So as I mentioned before, we are an inquiry-based school. So in the purple there is our central idea for this unit, as well as our lines of inquiry. Our pre-K team for 4 to 5-year-olds has this unit all about developing imagination, understanding what it is, and respecting that others may imagine things to be differently than we do. We take the students on a journey both between their main classroom teacher and myself during digital skills lessons. The students decompose what a monster is into individual components. They then use those components to construct a monster with how they think it should be. We create drawings of our monsters, followed by Play-Doh modeling, then use AI to create a digital graphic version of what we imagined based on our descriptions. Our Play-Doh models, once created, are then used with iPad to be brought to life in a reverse AR, if you will. We scan the models with a specific app from Play-Doh that then allows our students to enjoy playing with a digital version of their design. So let's take a look now at this project in action with the Imagination Monsters. This past year, we introduced a brand new AI component to this project as the summative of their entire experience. We encouraged our students to create a really good, strong description of their monsters based on their drawing and their Play-Doh model that we then put into Canva's AI image generator. Each student got a chance to choose from 4 options that the AI created as best guesses following their prompts. And it led to some really interesting conversations when a design didn't quite match what a student had imagined it to be, which led to prompt and description changes, adjusting our language and trying again. Canva's AI image generator is exceptionally good for imaginary and mythical creations, perfect for projects like this, or even starting to create characters for storytelling. So as a new component to this project, we will be keen to continue with it and add more to it as this project grows. Now in our kindergarten, ages 5 to 6, there is a unit they do relating to all about me called What Makes Me Me. This unit helps our students not only to recognize what similarities and differences they have with their peers, but also tap into more info about who they are as a unique individual. So again, our central idea and our lines of inquiry. During digital skills lessons, our students develop their digital drawing skills with iPad, moving from taking selfies with the camera to doing digital drawings in the Sketches Schools app, and finally working in Tinkercad to bring their 2D designs to life as 3D models. These models are then exported as printable files to our school's 3D printers, where we turn them into little versions of themselves, and this year we transitioned that into keychains. So here are some of the lovely little designs. I think what's lovely about these is you can easily tell these were done by children. And here are some of their wonderful selfie drawings in the app Sketches Schools. A new component we added to this project was to animate their drawings. We did this using the Meta Animated Drawings program that was surprisingly easy for a 5-year-old to navigate using, and exposing them to basic elements of animation and design, even at the age of 5. All of this amazing work did not happen in isolation each week, but instead was part of a carefully planned out Keynote workbook that students collaborated on with me as their digital skills teacher. We tied in some of Apple's new creativity projects with emojis to show our hobbies and favorite things, but largely enjoyed a clear planning space and progression of work. With Keynote's ability to house those 3D files, this allowed me to give the students access back to their Tinkercad designs they had created and then be able to view them on the iPad in AR as well. Our second kindergarten project that ties in augmented reality and artificial intelligence together is known as Dragons in the Forest. Now, this unit originally meant to cover engineering in what is very a traditional sense of structures and materials, quickly took a student-initiated detour, thanks in large part to a start of the unit field trip to Legoland, where the students engaged in a brick building workshop all about creating dragons. And it tied very nicely into the idea of storytelling. So we transitioned the unit away from structures right into how do we engineer stories. This was the first real cross-curricular project that we did for our kindergarten. We shifted the focus away from what we originally intended and instead followed the students' lead. We tied in forest school, STEM, language arts, and reading, which led to storytelling, linking back to what they had previously done of imagination and real-world skills. We worked on developing their descriptive language, and this ended with an AI model generation from text. Our students worked to develop a dragon character and storyline, creating a description and drawing of their dragon before we utilized a text to 3D model AI generation tool to help bring their models to life. With our forest school connection, the students spent time outdoors with their forest school teacher, physically constructing homes in our forests for the dragons to eventually go and live in. Here we have a finished sample of one of the AI-generated 3D dragon models. For this project, we again turned to the fabulous Keynote and collaboration to give each student their own slide within the entire presentation, to add a photo of their dragon drawing, add a text description, and I then added back in their 3D model. Here we have our students during forest school, working hard with their forest school teachers to create their dragon's den. And this culminated with bringing the iPads outside to the forest to help place their dragon through AR into their new home. Screen recording allowed us to capture the students telling their dragon stories while having their dragon in its new home. And storing all these 3D files in a collaborative keynote ensured that being away from Wi-Fi would not be an issue, and we would still be able to access those wonderful models for AR use. Here is a sample video taken with screen recording on an iPad while in the forest.
Went down with fishes. He went to his home. And it was so fun. He made a fire. He stayed warm. He made his fire with his mouth. It was so warm and cool. Night, night, he said. Bye-bye. Night, night, mama.
A final way that we have leveraged innovative technology with AI is combining it with e-safety. Now, each year around the holidays, we enjoy a lovely story called Santa's Selfie, all about how Santa wants a break, he wants to go on holiday, but he can't go anywhere without someone wanting to take his photograph. And the worst part is that every person he meets does not ask for permission to do so. So we decided to stress to students the importance of asking permission when you want to take someone's photo, especially as our earliest students start to discover the camera and are insistent upon taking photographs of everyone around them. Again, we went back to Canva and used their AI image generator to create some fun photos of Santa in his various locations in keeping with where he goes in the story. And after hearing the story, the students then used their iPads to go around the classroom and capture photos of Santa, all while practicing giving those permission requests out loud. I hope that you have found my talk today really helpful in taking those next steps into more innovative approaches with iPad for early years. More information can be found at the Academia stand, NG31. And I really appreciate getting the chance to share with you today. Thank you.